Hello and welcome to this episode of David in Arc. I am your host, and I'm on the wrong side. I'm your host, David in Arc, and I'm doing, for no reason whatsoever, this goofy challenge where I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, you sit here and you talk for 10 minutes. So I'm starting the timer to prove, hey, there's a timer. Ooh. Okay. So there you go. I have 10 minutes to talk about whatever it is I want to talk about. Okay, here's what I want to talk about. This is ridiculous. What's so funny to me is how many how many YouTubers are out there doing this 10-minute challenge and are just absolutely strapped for things to talk about. And I don't know, I've not seen a lot of YouTubers doing this. I've seen several. Um, Most of them have been younger. And I don't know if age has anything to do with it. Some of the folks that I've seen do this challenge, uh, they've been uh, on YouTube for years. I mean, really, they grew up doing YouTube. So they've been doing YouTube videos for 10, 12 years, and they get on and like, I don't know what I'm going to say. What am I going to do for 10 minutes? 10 whole minutes. And it's not just talking for 10 minutes. The whole idea is there's no editing. There's no text floating around. There's no doodads, gizmos, emojis, gadgets, add-ins, plug-ins, whatever. There's none of that stuff. So when I saw other folks doing that and they were struggling so hard, I thought, okay, there's got to be something to this. And I think part of it is that I don't do a lot of editing. Some of my videos, like the most editing you see generally is where I have the spinning wheel at the beginning with various sound effects, and really I've even kind of gotten away from that. So that's not that big a deal, I guess. But I do I do think that maybe age and experience has something to do with what you think you can do or can't do, maybe, in 10 minutes without any editing and just sitting here talking about whatever it is comes into your head. Now, that is one thing. It's definitely a stream of consciousness. It's whatever pops into your head. You're just going to say it in front of the camera for 10 minutes. Um, I do that anyway. Poppedinmyhead.com. Hello, that's one of the sites that I post to irregularly, which that in itself tells you a lot about me. I'm scatterbrained, and I just post whenever, whatever, however. Um, you're obviously watching this on my YouTube channel, so if you've not seen my other videos, by all means, you can check out the other videos that I've done, and you'll see that generally speaking, I'm just doing them to have a good time, post them out there. At the time of this video, I don't have a lot of subscribers. I will say I appreciate everyone who has subscribed to me to hear me babble and ramble and play crazy little video games. Um, and there's definitely more of those coming. Whatever games I find that I enjoy, and some that I don't enjoy, I'm going to put them out there because I just think I don't know, it's something different. A lot of people are doing very similar, especially gaming. They want to do what's hot and what's popular, and whatever. I grew up playing video games, which is stupid to say. Pretty much at this point, just about everyone who's watching videos on YouTube has. But we started out, a lot of people are like, oh, my first, well, of course, again, it depends on your age. My first thing was Atari 2600. Yeah, before Atari 2600, there was just Pong. It was, this box with these paddles, and you plugged them into your television set. Oh my goodness. No, I take that back. You didn't even actually plug it into your television set. You had to get an RF adapter that plugged it, that you attached via the screws where the antenna went. There you go. So I'm old. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Um, I've been playing video games for a long time, and I just think it's cool that there's a way now that you can share that with folks. And even if it's just you watching your own video and you laughing at yourself playing the game, I'm sure that makes sense to some folks. But anyway, so I think it's interesting to watch folks struggling with what to say in a 10-minute unedited video. And I guess with all the uhs and stutters, I could see where editing might have been a good idea for me. But anyway, I don't really care. But possibly part of that is also your life experience. Um, for example, I, as I was growing up, I hated public speaking. Couldn't stand it. I did not want to be anywhere near it. When I got to college, of course, you had to take oral communication classes and had to stand in front of the class and give a speech and blah, blah, blah. You give a 10-minute speech on whatever. And somewhere along the way, I learned a little trick. And this may help you if you're in school now, whether it's college, whether it's middle school, high school, any class really. Even if you're an adult and you're in a job where suddenly you're asked to present in front of folks. Here's the secret to presenting. The secret to presenting is you're going to tell them what you're going to tell them, and then you're going to tell them, and then you're going to tell them what you told them. All right. So let's say you've got a 7-minute speech on, I don't know, driving safely. Who cares? Whatever. All right. So you have a 7-minute speech on driving safely. Let's break it down into parts. So for the sake of argument, you have a 1-minute intro. You think you could talk for a minute, an introduction for a minute about driving safely? Yeah, probably so. It wouldn't take long for you to kill a minute. Then you have a minute at the other end of that where you're going to tell them what you told them about driving safety, the different things that you cover, just kind of bullets, real quick, kind of a recap. You could probably do that for a minute. Okay, some speeches, I mean, you're talking a whole 7-minute speech. So, okay, so maybe that's going to be 30 to 45 seconds. So, all right, so that's going to have to, you might have to adjust some time in there. That gives you 5 minutes to talk about car safety, driving safety, all right? Driving safely, let's say. All right, so in 5 minutes, can you come up with 5 points? I think so, right? So as you're writing out your outline, you come up with 5 points that you need to talk about. You're going to talk about checking out your car for safety. Do your blinkers work? Does it have oil? Does it have gas? Does everything check out, right? You can do that for a minute easy. You're going to talk about, I don't know, your seatbelt. All right, so you can talk about seatbelt safety. Talk about seatbelt safety for a minute. Oh yeah, easy. Maybe even 2 minutes. Oh, hey, what? All of a sudden you're killing time. Next thing you know, Jed's a millionaire. Anyone? No. Okay. Anyway, so other things with safety. Talk about other people in the vehicle, their seatbelts, or the way they are behaving or misbehaving, and how you handle maybe how you handle that. Especially, let's say you're a teenager and you're in the car with friends, and you've got a friend in the back who's just jumping all over the place, and how do you handle that? There's easily another minute or so. So suddenly you start adding up these pieces, these bits and pieces and parts, and poof, you've got a 7-minute speech. Or you suddenly have a 10-minute speech that now you have to pare down and go, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was going to be able to talk about this topic and the things about this topic in such a short amount of time. Suddenly you thought you had all this time you were going to have to kill, and now you're looking at, oh my goodness, I've got to cut stuff out because it's too long. So I hope that helps somebody. It may not. In my experience, so where I was going with all of that, once I learned that little trick, then one of the other things, I've always been interested in radio and broadcasting. So I was very fortunate to go to a university that had a radio class. And so I, for the fun of it, decided to take some radio classes, and that really helped as well. It helped with diction, it helped with pronunciation, it also helped with timing. Now this is old school. Okay, so in those days we had 45s on vinyl, which actually is making a comeback. So you pretty much know what I'm talking about. We also had CDs. I mean, I didn't do radio in the age of the dinosaurs or anything. 8 tracks. Well, I take that back. We actually did have 8-track player. Anyway, I digress often. So one of the other things that I learned was timing, and you would have a song that had a 13-second. There's my timer. Okay, so I'm already out of 10 minutes. Okay, but I'm not going to stop here because I'm babbling. But so some songs have a 32-second intro, or a 15-second intro, or they're 15. Well, I'm not going to say 15 minutes long. Maybe you've got a song that's 8 minutes long, really long song. Stairway to Heaven. Let me tell you a secret about Stairway to Heaven. If you're listening to a radio station where the DJ is live and they get to pick the music and they put Stairway to Heaven on, they're going to the restroom. Just going to let you know right now. Anyway, but you learn how to time certain things, how to say things so that when you stop talking, the music suddenly kicks on. Now I'm doing a radio thing with radio.edutechguys.com. We do a weekly radio show. It's online. We can make it last as long as we want, but we have set it to where it is an hour long. And so we cut it off at an hour. And so, that's also part of the timing, and learning how to time, and learning how to plan for that time. What am I going to say in that amount of time? And then you say it, and there you go. So this has lasted way longer than the 10 minutes that it was supposed to. I appreciate you hanging out. And feel free to like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I appreciate it. Feel free to leave a comment. I'm good about responding to comments. Good, bad, ugly, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. I'll try to respond either way, not to hate stuff. I mean, that's ridiculous, but you know what I mean. So anyway, this has been David and Ark, and I appreciate you tuning in for this, whatever, 10-minute challenge. Thanks.